This is part 9 of the Minecraft note block tutorial series, and here we're going to talk about the procedure to start a song, extending the canvas, and cloning a measure. In Badlion Client, press the right shift key to bring up its settings. Scroll down until you find the toggle sprint button, and enable it if it's not enabled. Click on it to get to the settings, and I have the fly speed set at 2. You can set it to what you like, but I like having it at 2. So I'll close out of that. Now when sprinting, so I'll just press the forward arrow, or W if you're using WSAD. We're going in our regular mode. If you tap the sprint key, that switches us into that toggle mode, and then this is the fly speed of 2. If I press the sprint button again, that turns that off, and then now I go on the regular speed. And actually, if you're in the toggled or fly speed of 2 and you press the sprint key, and you're still holding W or up arrow, you're still going to go at that speed. It's not until you let go and then press it again where you get into the new mode. So the sprint key basically toggles between fly speed of 2 and then the slower speed. So to start the song, what I like to do is I'll press the button, and I need an initial speed boost to be able to catch up real quick, but then I'll be going too fast, so then I need to slow it down. So what I'll do is I press the button, press the sprint button to go into fly speed 2 or toggled, and then I'll press the sprint button again to slow it down. So let's try that out. All right, here we go. So I'm going to press the button, forward arrow, sprint, and then sprint. Okay. So now let's switch topics and talk about extending the canvas. We'll use the fill command for this. So what we'll do is we'll come all the way down here. And I'll be doing 2 fill commands to extend the canvas, and then 3 fill commands to extend the tracks. So let's do /fill 401, 61, 1902 by 500 by 66 by 1922, and Minecraft : polished _ andesite, and I'll just tab complete that, and then press enter. And there they are. So what that did is that extends the bottom part of our canvas for 100 units that way. So if we look at our command here, we have x1 and y1. I'm sorry, x1 and x2 is 401 to 500 because I go in essentially 100 unit increments. 61 to 66, that's our y value, which is up and down. And then 1902 to 1922, that's our left and right value. So let's now go and switch this to 67 and 71, and then that will bring us all the way up to there. Okay. Now let's extend these tracks. What I like to do is I like to jump on top of it here. Press /, and then it's going to be fill 401, 72, 1906 to 500, 72, 1906, and we can actually just do polish _ andesite, tab complete, press enter. So press / up arrow. So this is because our forward and back direction is again 401 and to 500. Our y value, which is our up and down, is going to be just 72 because it's only 1 block high, and specifically track 1906. Because I do these in increments of 6, the next track is going to be 12, and 12 there. Press enter, / up arrow, place that with 18 and 18, press enter, and there's our tracks. Let's talk about Minecraft : air. So when you have a block where there's a spot where there's no block, that's actually of type Minecraft : air. So while we don't have it here, sometimes there's going to be blocks up above that you want to clear. So the way to do that is through through the fill command with a type Minecraft : air. So if I press /, And then we cycle through our previous commands. Some of these I've already attempted to rerun. So we want to use a command that we use to extend the canvas. And then what you want to do is just switch the Y value to, we'll start at 75 because I do have blocks potentially in a song that go up to 74. And just say like 79, for example. And press enter. Oops. Well, I guess this is actually a good thing. You know what? We will actually keep this as part of... Oh boy. Good thing we're in creative mode. Let's get rid of the... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get rid of these right away. So this is a situation where I wasn't careful and I issued a command where I shouldn't have. So how do we clear this up? Oh, well, there's lots of mobs. Good thing I'm in creative mode. What we actually wanted to do is of type Minecraft:error. So since those are the same values, instead of doing the Minecraft with polished underscore andesite, now we switch it with air. And then that gets rid of them. So now, that was intended. Oh, that must be block 74. That's why that didn't. Okay, most of them are on fire. Let's just get a sword and get rid of that creeper. Bye-bye, creeper. And bye-bye, spider. And one more creeper to get rid of. There we go. Alright, well that takes care of the creeper problem. Okay. So, let me get my redstone torch back. Okay, well that was an interesting deviation. So hopefully that makes sense of how you can use Minecraft:error to get rid of things and correct a mistake if you make one. Now what's important to also bring out there is in that case, I just placed a bunch of blocks above me and it was easy to fix. But you have to be careful on the values because if you would have accidentally overwritten your song, that would be bad because there's no way to undo it and you'd have to completely redo it. So, like I said in another video, always double check your numbers before you press enter, otherwise you can see what happens. Okay, so let's talk about cloning the previous measure. Okay, so I will bring up the sheet music at this point in the video. Technically, measure 1 and measure 2, we could clone both at the same time because measures 1 and 2 are the same thing as measures 3 and 4. Rather, measure 1 is the same as measure 3, measure 2 is the same as measure 4. But let's just clone one measure at a time so we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. So the way you do it in this case is we actually want to clone all the way down here, starting at our measure beacon when we're going to clone the entire measure. So what I'll do is I'll press F3 to go into debug mode, press /, and we'll start doing the clone command. So we clone 296 by 71 by 1904 and press enter. And that is an incomplete command. So now we're going to come over here to the right track, the last possible block before we get to measure 2, and put some temporary blocks here on the right side of the track, right before the end of the measure. 3 blocks there, and then put our cursor over this block here. Press / up arrow, and now we'll send this. So we went 327 by 74 by 1919. Press enter, knowing that that is an incomplete command. Destroy our 3 temporary blocks. And then now we'll come over here to the measure marker of here, which starts measure 3. Press / up arrow, 360, 71, 1904. And that's green, so we press enter. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to press F3 to get out of debug mode, and now we have measure 3. The one thing I'm going to do before we go on is with that clone command, we don't get the measure marker for the start of the next measure. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put a dirt block there, destroy that, put a beacon, 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 dirt block, wood block. Okay, so now at this point, let's test out the song and make sure it sounds correct. Then make sure the clone procedure worked correctly. Okay, I think that sounded good. Okay, so now let's do measure 2. But actually, one thing to talk about first here is measure marker signs. So one other thing you can do to help understand where you're at is use a sign and just say this is measure 1. Come over here, this is measure 2. This is measure 3. And this is measure 4, will be measure 4. And so these are optional. I don't always use these. They are certainly helpful when you do. Especially the more you clone, the more these are, because it's nice to have the measure markers. But as you get like 50, 60, 70, 80 measures, it can be very hard to tell where you're at. So if you have this here, it makes it very easy to see what measure you're at. Okay, so now let's clone measure 2 to make that measure measure 4. And the procedure to do that will be exactly the same thing. So we press F3, our cursor is hovered over the beacon, / clone 328, 71, 1904, press enter, and then now we go to the right side of the track, right before the next measure marker on the right side of this track, 3 temporary blocks, cursor over the highest one, / up arrow 359 by 74 by 1919, press enter, knowing that's an incomplete command, destroy our temporary blocks, come all the way down to here to the measure marker for measure 4, / up arrow 392 by 71 by 1904, press enter, there's our measure, and then press F3 to get out of debug mode, destroy that block, put a beacon there for our measure marker, measure marker, measure marker, dirt block there, oops, wood block there. Okay, and let's see what this sounds like. Nice, and there it is. Okay, let's just listen to that one more time, just because we can. Nice. All right. Well, this concludes the basic part of the Minecraft tutorial series. There's several other advanced topics and techniques that I use, but I'm going to wait until I run into those situations before releasing the tutorials on them. I hope you found this tutorial series helpful and informative, and I'll see you in the next video.